Zone Ads, World of Local Business Info.
What can make you faster includes a lot of training, but equipment also plays an important role. So the first thing on in terms of equipment is the bicycle itself. In the bicycle, there are three big parts of the bicycle. The first one is called the frame. So the green color part is the frame. It's like two triangles or diamond shapes. So this is very important. How it is important is this is the heaviest part of the bicycle. This is going to determine how well the power that you are generating is transferred. So you are putting in a lot of force, so that force has to go directly to the wheels instead of getting twisted in the floor. So there are different materials used for making frames. Typically steel, aluminum and carbon. Carbon will be the lightest. Steel and aluminum are heavier. You can still use this for your age. You could use this is a steel frame. You can use something like this for training. Like sir said, may not be ideal for competition, but for training, this is a fantastic thing. And generally, if you have the option, it is good to have a training bike and a racing bike separate. In the frame, in addition to the material, there are differences in terms of how the frame geometry is. The frame geometry refers to the angles of the frame. So, for example, this frame is a track-specific frame which is designed for performance. A lot of frames are there which are designed, the angles are such that they are designed more to be comfortable and for riding within the city. So that is something you need to be careful when you are looking at the entry level track frames. The next important thing is especially when you are selecting size, right? Kids generally grow very fast. So as parents, we have a tendency to think that I will buy one size bigger, and so that it will last for a longer time frame. Nobody can deny that logic. They will grow bigger and sometimes they will outgrow their bicycles. But the reality is, given the option, the smaller frame size is actually faster because it is lighter, and the smaller the triangle is, the stiffer it is. So it will be more responsive naturally. So don't buy too big a frame. First of all, they will be uncomfortable right now, and second is actually you are buying something which is heavier and which is slow, which is going to slow them down. So buy the right size instead of buying one size bigger. That is very very important. The second biggest part of the bicycle is the wheels. When I say wheels, there are I can say four important parts of the wheel. The middle part, this is called the hub. So this is got the bearings in which enables the rotation of the wheel. The second is the spokes and the rims and the tires. So when you buy a wheel, typically you don't get the tires. Tires you buy separately. The important things you are looking for in a wheel for performance is the wheel is a compromise which is between light or weight, uh, aerodynamics, and the rolling resistance and the strength. These four things are there. That is weight, strength, aerodynamics, and rolling resistance. The quality of the hubs is the bearings inside the hubs are very important. Unfortunately, it is not something you could put a number to it. To an extent, you need to go by just feeling the hub and seeing the hub. But there are different qualities of hub based on the bearing types. Typically, the ceramic bearings would be the highest performance hubs, and there are ball bearings and sealed bearings also. There is generally a tendency to think that sealed bearings are better than ball bearings, which is more from a maintenance point of view rather than performance point of view. There are very good quality ball bearing hubs also. So it depends finally on the quality of the bearings. Then the spoke count will determine the strength of the wheel. The more the number of spokes, the heavier the wheel will become, and it will be slower. So typically we are looking at 20-24 kind of, that is 20 in the front and 24 spokes in the rear. And also the spoke crossing, right? So when the spokes are crossing, it increases the strength of the wheel because while they are kids and their weight is lesser, but strength is still very important because you don't want it to disintegrate. And the third is the rim. The rim also has to be lightweight. The depth of the rim, that is the screen part, how deep it is will determine the aerodynamics as well, at least one of the main parts. However, when you are looking at a aluminum wheel, because aluminum is more heavier than carbon, if you look at the very deep section aluminum wheel, it is likely to be very heavy. So I think you need to find a compromise. Do not consider deep section. In fact, I was seeing one of the bikes which had an aluminum deep section rim. It's very heavy. So be careful of that. Definitely aerodynamics plays a very important part as you cross 30-35 kilometers per hour. But I think you need to also bear in mind that if it is too heavy, it's going to cause a bigger problem. So these are the basic things about wheels, and generally right now we are going through a phase where there are a lot of things which are not serviceable or which are not genuine parts. So it is important to go to, if you are getting a particular brand, go to the website, check out if it is a genuine brand, and check out what is the source. You have to find out whether it is a part is genuine. You find the source. If you are able to find enough information about the source, who is the distributor, who is the retailer, and whether the distributor and retailer's names are there on the official website of the brand, then that is a reasonably good way of determining that it is a genuine product. Tire is also very important. So the research and things are changing a lot. When you are looking at a tire, you are looking at the quality of the material used as well as the widths needed. Previously, we used to use only 23C tires because 23 refers to the width of the tires, and the contact point we used to think was lesser and all. Nowadays, there is a more tendency to go to 25, 28 on the road. But on the track, we are still looking at 23. But the quality of the tire, we have something called as TPI, that is treads per inch. Usually, the higher the TPI of the tire, the more flexible and more responsive it is. So, for example, if you were to go over this wedge, if you record that in slow motion, you feel that actually the tire would compress as it goes over a wedge or something like that. So that gives you, the more easily it compresses, the better ride feel and the better responsiveness. So you look at the TPI and the tread pattern, and the surface also makes a big difference. If you are riding indoors, you need to look at different material tires because that with the wooden tracks, the regular rubber tires will have lesser traction. So based on the tracks, you need to select the tires. Any questions on the rim, wheels, or the brakes?
I'll just add on to that. If you see 700C is just, there's nothing 700 about it. Actually, if you go to see, it's not even 700 mm. There is nothing about 700. It is 622 mm from this point to this point. And your tires will be about another 1 inch, so it makes it actually 27 from outer to outer. That is it. The actual size of it is 622 mm. But 700C, I think now they have come with 700C, B, I think there are different categories also.
It is just a notation.
Rim also, you get various, broad rims, you get narrow rims, you get with brakes, without brakes. There are many types of rims available in the market. What I just add on to what Gokul said, what we are looking for is good rolling, lightweight, and aerodynamic. These are the three aspects we have to look when we are looking for good wheels. So weight is a big importance, aerodynamics, and the rolling of the hub, and of course the tire. There are tires that will range from I think 1,000 rupees to 6,000, 7,000 rupees, depending on the quality. So these are the aspects. There is no point in buying just another wheel just because we need a wheel, but we need a proper wheel. because we already have wheels. If we are going in for a wheel, we need a much better wheel that will help us by maybe a second or so in a kilometer. So basically, that is what we are looking at. Anything else?
And also the tires, it is better to see. You are looking at a racing tire. Race tires will be lighter, but they will have lesser puncture protection. So you need to kind of distinguish and separate your racing equipment and your training equipment. Uh, doesn't make sense to. You should still do a few rides on the race equipment, the race tire to make sure that you are comfortable and there is nothing wrong. But at the same time, preserve it. I know so many people who have lost races because of punctures and issues with the tires. It is very important to make sure that the tires are in good condition. And for that, you'll have to, if the tire is on the bike, you should always inflate it, even if you are not using it. Because when the tire gets deflated and you are keeping it like that, it will develop cracks. So it has to be kept safely. And even if you are not using rubber as a lifetime, so don't buy it too early as well. The last thing is the group set. In a track setup, obviously the group set is very simple. You are primarily looking at the gear ratio. So again, one of the key things that you will have to do when you are going to a track is to find out after a few decades you will try to figure out what is the gear ratio that is applicable for the track based on the wind conditions. So it is always important to have a few options of the gear ratio, the chains and the box. You have to make sure you.
As we said, this is definitely if you use it in a competition, nobody uses. They all go for the best. It's all carbon cycles, all very costly cycles. So at the national level, you will hardly see any of these cycles. If you see it, it will be from some state, that is just developing and just coming up. They are just coming for participation. But if we are going to win, then equipment will play a big role in cycling.
Subscribe to our channel, click the bell icon and select all.